Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's live. Okay, I know I say this every week, but we have so much going on right now. I know I tweeted about this, I think a week ago, about we have like 20 things going at once. Okay, so we've got Guild Wars, which has been super exciting. So we'll talk about it a little bit. And then we have a pretty fun holiday event coming up. So we're going to go through a ton of the holiday event stuff today. It's going to be a holiday filled AMA. I tried to find an intro song that was kind of like chill Christmas holiday vibes. So let me know if you guys like that song. I feel like it was too chill. I feel like I need to have like some like jingle bells playing next time. We need to hype this up a little bit more, match the energy. Yeah. And then also I know Leaky Luke went off last week about this AMA being so crazy with this huge announcement might come next week, but it's still going to be a major AMA because the holiday event, guys, is beyond. Like, honestly, our team, I know it took us a while. We were talking about like we had a little bit of a lull time because we were onboarding a bunch of new team members, but now you guys are seeing it. They are producing like I've never seen before. We've got so much crazy stuff coming. So let's bring up Luke and we will dive into all of the things going on right now.
Whew, yeah, it's crazy how busy this month has been for us. I feel like our strategy was we have been working on all this stuff for a while, right? Like you guys follow these AMAs every single week. And our team just basically was like, God, we got to get everything out before end of year. So yeah, you're seeing like a bunch of big releases basically all shoved in like a 2 to 3 week span. And yeah, the biggest thing, I was really hyping it up last week. I'm sorry, guys. It looks like we have to wait a little bit longer to announce it, but coming 2024, like almost positively for sure. I hope I didn't just jinx it right there. But yeah, today what we're going to go through is we're going to go over like how Guild Wars is going. We'll talk about the holiday event. Holiday event's actually huge. Like I saw it for the first time just like a couple weeks ago, and I didn't even know what the team was working on. Sometimes it gets like that. Now the team has gotten a little bit bigger. And yeah, it's actually like a very large event. It's bigger than, I would say, like the Halloween event. It's bigger than, it might be bigger than Barney's Bazaar even. And yeah, we're gonna show it all today. Basically, we're gonna show you how it works. What it's gonna look like, what the rewards are, and we'll dive into that. And then, yeah, I want to talk about the big announcement. We can't get it out yet. But yeah, tons of exciting stuff. So maybe what we go through first is we talk about Guild Wars first and how that's going, some updates here. Talk about like what we're seeing, if it looks successful right now, and kind of fill you guys in. So Guild Wars is really oriented towards hardcore Pixels players, and that's what we kind of want, right? What we've seen is basically like the most hardcore players are the ones participating. It's not for everybody. We know that Guild Wars is not something that every single type of person in the Pixels ecosystem likes to play. Some of you kind of get stressed out by it being competitive, right? The cool part is we set aside a ton of rewards for Guild Wars, right? And this is going to be kind of one of my theses. I have this thesis that Web3 earnings are inherently viral, right? When you start to see people earning a lot of rewards in game, it makes you want to go and like basically participate in it as well too. And Guild Wars is really interesting because it's a more interesting reward distribution system than what Taskboard is, right? Taskboard can be a little frustrating when you're playing with it because, there's a lot of elements of RNG. We have some smart elements of it coming out sooner. But we're kind of limited with the way that we can target rewards to different players, like how we can get it to grinders, and all of this kind of stuff. So what we're kind of working on now is seeing, okay, if we start to change up our earning mechanisms to be a little bit different, what's that do? Can we target rewards better to different types of players that participate in this event? So I was doing the math, and I want to make sure this is right. But the amount of people participating in Guild Wars right now is not super high, and I think I'm very okay with that. Kind of what I want to see is I want to start to see how we can actually give out rewards to the people in Guild Wars. I want the people who are basically performing best to make a ton of pixel. That's kind of the idea here. So I think if you want to do the math, just like picture this right now, because I think people are going to start to learn what's going on here. We had about like 4,000 people, like a little bit under 4,000 people participate in Guild Wars so far. And I think we're giving out about 800,000 pixel per week through individual and guild rewards. So if you do the math, that's like 200 pixels per person on average, but some people are going to get a lot more. Some people might get a little bit less, but there's some pretty interesting earning loops in there just with Guild Wars. It probably is like more worth your time than Taskboard right now, but that's kind of alpha, right? So there's a lot of stuff that we need to figure out with Guild Wars to make it better. But this is kind of the idea here. We want to make sure that we can kind of figure out new ways to give out earnings. And this will be a really big focus in 2025 also. So we talk about earning tech a lot, right? What we're probably going to have to do soon is we're going to have to rewrite our white paper and kind of show you guys a plan. It's interesting because the people that follow along with these AMAs, you guys get the alpha, you know what's going on. But yeah, a lot of people that don't follow Pixels as closely as you don't really know what we're doing. I started seeing a lot of tweets and people write articles about us recently now that Web3 gaming is kind of coming back. It's more center stage, and they look at our white paper and it's so different than what we're doing right now, right? The key thesis here at Pixels right now is we think that we can make play to earn work and be sustainable. And there's a bunch of different ways that we've been doing that, right? So we've been basically building out smarter earnings technology. What that means is basically we look and see what everybody does with the pixel that we give them. Yeah, we have all the data in game. We like know if you spend it, we know if you like go and withdraw it and dump it immediately. And we can basically start to tailor reward systems to make sure that we're giving out pixel to the people who are most active in the community, who are like the best ecosystem players. And yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff with that coming basically. So we'll basically have a new white paper updated soon, but it's cool because if you follow these AMAs, if you're really active in the community, you have that alpha. That's kind of an advantage you have over the rest of the market because you know what we're doing. You know that what we're doing is really cool, right? And yeah, Guild Wars is one of those things. So we think that, first Guild War weekly reward distribution, it should be available and distributed on Tuesday. And I bet the next week we'll have more players participate is what I'll say. So this is also your alpha for participating in elements of the game early, right? If you try new things, especially when we're experimenting with new earnings, then you get to reap some of those benefits and rewards, right? So before the rest of the space catches on, that Guild Wars might be a unique earning opportunity, then go ahead and play it. And then, yeah, we'll address some of the feedback too. So we know that not everything is perfect with Guild Wars. So let's just, let's kind of get this out and open and transparent as well too. Guild Wars, it's kind of a long season, right? It's a 3-month long season. But the idea behind it is we're going to be making changes pretty consistently to it too, right? Like we did not get it perfectly right away, right? But I think we're doing a better job than we did the last time. And we made a lot of progress, right? We see that there's a few things that are frustrating to people. Some of it being like the time zones. I've seen some like criticisms of like tier 4 and that kind of stuff too. We'll talk about that and address that. But yeah, please keep giving us some of the feedback and like let us know what you guys think about it. Because yeah, this is like the important stuff here. And this is some of our key learnings and what we're trying to experiment with.
Yeah, so just talking about the time zones too. So we originally set time zones and we got a lot of feedback asking for us to change them, which we did update, which obviously then, you know, screwed over some other people, right? It's very hard to choose static times that work for every time zone, right? So we're hoping that there's at least one, I mean, there will be one time zone per day that is during your daylight hours is the goal. Now, I do understand a lot of people work and they can't necessarily make every single time, which is why we have 4 different days. So, you know, with everything that we do in time zones, we understand you're not going to be able to play every single round. Now, obviously, we want you to be able to play as much as possible. So we, like our grinders, our passionate, our top players, we get it. So we have been talking intensely internally about how we can switch this up, how we can change things up. I can't guarantee that things will change in this season of Guild Wars. They might not, I'm not sure, but just know that we're discussing this heavily. And we're taking it very seriously. Obviously, we want your feedback and we want you to be able to play as much as you want to play. So we're working on it.
Yeah, note that we'll probably, 3 months is too long to not experiment as well. I'll say, no, we do have to commit to changing things during the season. So do expect tweaks. This is actually like a really important conversation to have with people participating in Guild Wars. Expect things to change slightly here and there, right? So what we don't want to do is we don't want to change things midweek. If we ever make a change to like some of the reward distribution or any of that, but do expect changes every now and then as we start to tweak rewards. Like for example, I saw a comment saying earnings is for top players only. Half the prize is for them. Like, yeah, this is some of the stuff that we might change and tweak depending on like what we want to be doing and experimenting with. So give us some time to like tweak some things out. I know, for example, we also probably will be introducing more new maps to experiment with too. So yeah, Guild Wars, it runs long. It's going to be changing also. So note that too. And again, before we make any changes to some of the stuff, we'll make sure that it's announced beforehand enough so that you can make decisions that week on how you might change your strategy or how much you want to play. And then, yeah, we hear you guys in the time zone stuff. The time zone stuff is tricky. So, yeah, I mean, keep giving us some feedback on that, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to make it this event like a 24/7 grind fest. So we're trying to limit gameplay, right, through different sessions. Even I might even like encourage the team to think about like turning back the session time a little bit. Like I don't know, when I've played, an hour feels a little long. I feel like 45 minutes might be a good time frame, right? We've heard some of that feedback too. So that stuff is on the table. It might be able to be changed. Just like let us know, give us feedback on this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I have heard this point a lot too, when you're saying like, oh my gosh, don't change them again because my guild is heavily based in one time zone and would have to change tiers and all of that. We will take all of that into consideration with any changes that we make. We totally hear you. Also, I laughed because this is so true. You guys are up at all hours. So shout out to anyone that's awake watching right now, because it's like 3, 4 a.m. for you guys are amazing. Everyone in Southeast Asia. Okay. Or some other comments we got here. Okay.
Here's a good one. I'm going to pull this one up really quickly. Yeah, so please prevent large guilds from creating smaller guilds to compete at lower levels, depriving tier 1 guilds of fair competition. It's interesting. I feel like this is going to be self-selecting a little bit. Yeah, the tier 4 rewards are the highest. And I think what we're seeing is the tier 3 is the most competitive right now, which is interesting. I think it's going to be beneficial for some of these tier 3 guilds to basically like tier up, because they'll probably earn more if they were in tier 4, like significantly more. So I think what we're going to have to see for this one is if some of the guilds change their meta after the first earnings week. And this is the kind of stuff that we'll be actively looking at too, right?
And this is a really good question. Guild Wars is not anything like the rest of Pixels. Why? Do you want to?
Yeah, so we want to. So what's interesting is here's our strategy at Pixels, right? We've been wanting some elements of competitive gameplay for a long time, right? And Guild Wars was one way for us to start to experiment with, like, is there demand here? Do some players like this kind of stuff? Like, for example, players inside of the game have been asking for combat for so long. And what I can tell you is we've been thinking about that kind of stuff a lot lately. And there's a few different ways that we can get mechanics in like this. So Guild Wars is a good experiment for this reason. It kind of gave a different type of gameplay for that type of player that wants to have that kind of gameplay, but hopefully we can announce it soon. We've been talking about acquisitions and publishing a good amount. And here's part of the other strategy that we're thinking about. One, we want to make the core game of Pixels as good as possible. So that means we do need to make the gameplay better, and we do need to fix some of the like economic issues, some of the issues around land, and then also just add more to the core game that we have too. So we're almost wrapped up with chapter 2.5. We're trying to get all the chapter 2.5 updates out before end of year, and then we can finally focus on chapter 3. And what chapter 3 is going to look like is kind of, there's some open ability there. Basically, we kind of want to add more competitive gameplay in chapter 3 and kind of complete core loops. But then the other interesting thing that we've been doing is, we've been making more aggressive moves on acquisitions and publishing. And when I talk about this, basically what that means is we're kind of working to bring other games directly into the Pixels ecosystem. So we can kind of shortcut some of those challenges that we might have of developing our own like additional core loop. So for example, if we wanted a combat mechanic in the game, like our team can go and build it out, or we can just buy a game and have it work in pixels right away, that has combat right away. So that's some of the strategy that we're thinking about too. And we've been tweeting about it a lot. Offer is still out there. If you guys are able to connect us to any game that is looking to get access to more users and wants to join the Pixel ecosystem, we're even going to offer a finder's fee for that. We've been getting a lot of really good deal flow on this, and it's been super fun. So we can just dive into like what we're looking for really quickly with that kind of stuff. What we want for acquisitions and bringing on more games into the ecosystem is we want to fit in with the Pixels vibe really well. We want it to work in the Pixels loops really well too. So the idea is, we have this core game inside of Pixels. It's pretty fun. And it attracts a certain type of user base. It also is a really good game to help us grow. What we can also do now is we can start to bring in other games that might provide other experiences that are somewhat separate. So if a user just want to participate in that one loop, they could do it, but also playing the core Pixels game might help you in that loop. And we'll dive into that more eventually on what that might look like. But there's some fun stuff that's possible there. And the team's been thinking about that kind of stuff a lot lately. Yeah, that's not to say that we're ignoring like the rest of Pixels, because that's where all the team, like the core team's time, energy is. And this also maybe goes into like a cool little side tangent. We just hired a head of ecosystem, and this head of ecosystem to be focused on stuff like this. So we're going to be more aggressively pursuing ecosystem expansion. And what that means is basically like helping fund developers who are building in the Pixels ecosystem, figuring out how we do community governance. The Pixels DAO is getting pretty big. I think we crossed 50 million pixel in the community treasury, which is nuts, right? So we're starting to set up the foundation of what community governance looks like over this treasury, and what that might be able to unlock. There's a few things that get really interesting with community governance. Like the community, you guys could go out and decide to go and fund new game development, right? With that treasury, you could decide to just like burn all the tokens if you want. It's not up to us; it's up to you guys. But we want to help facilitate like the structure behind that for all of you, to help you guys be able to make those good decisions. And that's what this head of ecosystem is going to come on and help with. So in the meantime, I just saw a really good comment too, because this is related. Somebody said they abandoned this game for 1 year and now they're trying to return. So in 2025, and like basically as we get back from the holidays and we start to build out like what the future of Pixels looks like, there's a few things that we're gonna be focused on with the core gameplay. So one is onboarding. This is something that has been very controversial on my end. And I think it's also been our greatest asset, to be honest. We have not focused on onboarding until now. My hot take in Web3 gaming was that if the game is compelling enough and there's interesting enough features inside of the game, like earning or fun game mechanics, the onboarding experience can be bad and people will still play. And we have solidly proven that, because our onboarding experience is very bad and people have still played. Now we're at the point where we're scaling further, right? Like we've had millions of users try out Pixels, and it actually is kind of hurting us. When you look at the game growth, when you look at the game's growth, you look at a couple different metrics. You look at day 1 retention, day 7, day 28. You look at engagement. You look at how much they'll spend inside of the game. Our day 1 retention is pretty bad. That basically means we have a lot of people that try the game for 1 day and they don't come back and play again. So we're going to really focus on onboarding in early 2025. We're basically going to bring on somebody to kind of like fully focus on this, help us make the whole flow from when you first look at the Pixels website to when you go into the game, to when you like connect the wallet, to when you like earn your first pixel. Basically, like what we want to do is we want to kind of help people understand what that magical moment in the game is a little bit quicker, so they come back and they understand exactly what's going on, how to play the game, all of this kind of stuff. What I was really, one of my big epiphanies in the Philippines was like how good the end game meta of Pixels can be, but it's so complicated and like very few people actually get to that end game meta. But like, because Pixels has a real economy, and because there's like a lot of intricacies of the end game, there's some cool stuff that happens when you're like pretty far through the game when it comes to like guild coordination, land management, all of this. we basically want more people to understand what that end game meta looks like earlier on and get them participating in that. So we'll be rethinking all of that basically. And that also might mean adding in more RPG elements. Like I've been talking to the team a lot about how we get in some of that. What you'll see from the Carnival that we're going to demo soon is actually a lot of stuff that we can use for more RPG style elements. So for example, there's not a lot of world building or questing inside of Pixels that you would expect from a normal MMORPG or really any RPG like Stardew Valley. There's no story, there's no like puzzles, any of that. I think you'll see in the Carnival, we have a bunch of new mechanics that we can start to use for a quest system that kind of mimics those style of things. Like we can basically add like more Stardew Valley narrative, quest, puzzles, all this kind of stuff inside of the game too. So yeah, the first time user experience is going to be really important in 2025 as we start to grow, combined with other like growth incentives too. If you've been following us for a long time, you should hopefully trust that we know how to grow. And there's actually a lot of growth levers that we turned off for a while because we wanted to focus on core gameplay, getting out new systems, acquisitions, data science, all of that. Now we're in a good spot and we can actually start to turn on some of the growth levers again. So what that might look like is, we've been talking about a creator code feature, for example. This will be a feature where basically when you go to purchase something in Pixel, you can add in somebody's code. Like for example, if I saw Chuck Fresco in this AMA listening, like if Chuck Fresco had a code, Fresco, you could type in his code. He gets 5% of what you spent in Pixel to him. And you also get a 5% discount. So you get a cheaper purchase on your item too. It's just a win-win scenario. So basically it creates more autonomous loops for people to help us grow. And if Chuck Fresco is onboarding a bunch of people inside of the game, then he is much more incentivized to go help hustle and grow us, right? So we're always looking for ways where basically we can make the product grow itself. That's a good example. We'll start to add in things like incentivized referrals again too. We had a crazy referral system in our Play the Airdrop, right? We were the first people to start doing these incentivized referrals, the links, all of that back in our Play the Airdrop season 1 in 2022. And that's one of Pixel's like secret sauce, right? Like we were really early to all this growth tech that is now getting super annoying on X. So we'll do it in a different way that is a little bit less annoying, spammy, but that kind of stuff works too, right? And then, yeah, we also have some other apps that we think will grow top of funnel too. Like we've talked about our pets app. That app will be mobile first. And that'll be like very socially driven too. So that'll hopefully build out some funnels. But yeah, 2025 would be great. So let's not talk about 2025 anymore though, because there's still a ton of stuff coming before end of year, especially this holiday event. Heidi,
I will give us a couple of things before we dive into that. I'll go through them really quickly, okay? Pastor Luke, when chilling and not stressing games besides Pixels. It's funny because I feel like the regular Pixels core game loop is pretty chill. So just go keep farming pop berries. You don't need to participate in guild wars. You can choose the gameplay that you like. I saw a couple comments on why would you run this during the holiday season? What's going to happen on the 24th? For me, my culture, the 25th, the 31st, right? It's funny because I think there's a debate here of like, oftentimes during the holiday seasons, people want to find activities to do. And then some others have families of 40 that they have to spend time with and can't necessarily participate in gameplay. So we are often, when people talk about gaming, it's funny in like our community and whatnot, like a lot of people say it's like kind of their safe space, their escape from reality or whatnot, right? And so, yeah, we will basically, TLDR is we will continue to run throughout the holiday season, throughout the holiday days. If you can't make it, that's fine. That's totally okay. If you can, and this is where you want to spend some quality time, that's a beautiful thing too. So we will run events throughout the year, throughout every holiday. Every culture has different holidays that are important to them. Holiday season is obviously big for like the Western world and just Asia and whatnot, but then other seasons are important in other cultures, and we'll run events during them too. So we'll just
keep like Lunar New Year's coming up, for example.
Exactly, yeah, Lunar New Year. I know I pinged the team about Lunar New Year coming up, guys. We might do something fun for that one. So, okay. Wait, there was one other comment I wanted to address. I think. I don't remember what it was. Oh, okay. There's no competition on tier 4. So first of all, we'll take a look at the balance of that. But top 2 guilds made an alliance. They don't attack each other. Well,
Somebody's got to win. But
like, why don't you go make an alliance and you guys attack that alliance and then you can come out on top? There's some meta, like, strategy here, guys. I think a lot of our players are very used to like chill farming, right? This is competition. This is GVG, guys. And there might be more competition style things coming in the pipeline. So get ready. We want some stuff there. Okay, let's jump into the carnival. So I'm going to preface this by saying Carnival is going to come out early next week, I believe, the winter carnival. So there are still a lot of tweaks and changes and balance stuff in the works. There are some features that are still in the works. So I might not even fully share 100% of what is coming out, but I'm going to show a lot of it. It is so much fun. There's a lot here. So let me share my screen. Give me 1 second here.
I'll have mine ready too. We can maybe tag team a bit. Mine's up right now.
Up what?
I have Carnival up right now. But
are you in stage?
Go ahead and share your screen, and then if we want to basically like demo some mini games side by side, then I can go and like play a different one.
Perfect. Are you in staging?
Yep, I'm in staging. So first thing when you walk into the carnival is you'll note that there's a gate, and I'll just announce this part now. Oh,
sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I just took over. Okay.
I'll just announce this part right now. Yeah, people keep asking on these penguins, like what they are. They are a new pet that we're releasing specifically for this event, and we're giving out a good amount of them. There'll be like 400 of them in rewards, which is super fun. They're super cute. We're excited.
They're so cute. I know I leaked it on Twitter, I think last week, and someone was like, "Oh, can I get that penguin statue?" And I was like, "No, because it's a pet." Yeah, really great. Okay, so the first thing you do is you come in, you can talk to Doug Fur. He's going to give you one of these trees that you can go place on your farm, and then you come back and he'll give you some twinkle lights and you can go place that on your tree on your farm, which is really fun. That's Sophia, isn't it? Yeah, what's up, Sophia? And then throughout the carnival, you will have opportunities to win. They're called missile tokens. There's 3 different types of missile tokens, 3 different colors. There's white, red, and green. And throughout the event, you'll have opportunities to get the ornaments and different objects and all of these different things with your missile tokens. So let's just go right in. There's 6 different mini games, which we'll demo today. But you can come in here and come to Granny's Cookie Shop, and this is where you can get cookie credits. So you need cookie credits to play the mini games. So I'm going to just reiterate again, balancing and values and all of those details might change still. So don't take any of this to heart. We're still deep into the Excel spreadsheets of balancing this. I think there will be opportunities to maybe get some free cookies throughout. So don't worry about all that. But for now, I'm just going to buy a whole bunch of them so that I have a bunch to demo with. Okay. Ooh, I did not mean to zoom out. Okay. So here we go. So this is really pretty. So I just want to show it. There's a few different chase content things in here. So one is decorating your whole tree because it looks really cool. And we've done like something similar to this for the past few years. So you really want to get that 2024 one in. Another one is these things called boosts. So these ice statues you see here, these guys here, they are a brand new mechanic that we're introducing into the game. And I'm so excited about these. So these boosts are basically little ice statues you place on your farm, and they will decrease the amount of time required for whatever industry it is. So if you have the farming statue, it will decrease the amount of time it takes to farm by a certain percentage. I'm not going to tell you the percentage because that percentage is still being balanced, but it is really, really cool. So yeah, if something takes 20 minutes to grow, it'll be less if you have this statue on your farm. And I think they're going to be stackable up to 2. So you will be able to get up to 2, and they're going to be rare.
This is a whole new feature that we're adding. We've been talking about it for a long time. It's called Boost, right? So this is going to be something that we start to add into the game a little bit more. And this is going to be some like pretty desirable, what we call chase content, right? So basically, these boosts are permanent if you add it onto the farm, right? Everybody gets a % speed up. And there might be other kinds of boosts that we do too eventually.
I just felt like I needed a Santa hat. Shout out to Rag Poet for getting these NFT avatars. Like there's a handful of them that just have Santa hats for the season. I love it so much. Okay, so then there's a bunch of other fun stuff here. So we do have some presents and gifts that you can buy and have the opportunity to win some really cool prizes. So a bunch of Mythal tokens, which you'll see why you're going to want those. And then some really fun sweaters, which you'll be able to wear, but also use to get more Mythal tokens, which I'll show you in a minute. And then also in here are some pet coupons. So these are pretty fun. And then let's go up here and dive in. So here is my red Mythal token booth. So I can come here, and these are rotating stores. So throughout the holiday season, there will be different items available every, I don't know how many days, probably every week or something like that to come in. Once again, balance. These are all probably going to change. So don't worry about the values in here right now, but we have our ice sculpture metalworking here. This is the ornament for my Christmas tree. And then, yeah, a gift box to get the opportunity to win some fun stuff, including these crazy boosts and a pet coupon. So let's come in here. I think this one might be my favorite event. I don't know. It might be one of my favorite ones. Oh, okay, cool. It didn't have the value on it. Okay, so we come in here and we start the game by using one of my cookie credits. Okay. So if you've played Mastermind, I think is like the original name of a game like this, but it's similar to Wordle. So this is a bad demo because I already didn't get anything. So let's keep clicking and you'll understand why this is like kind of like Wordle. Okay, it's not showing up, which means this is not working properly. Fabulous. Okay, so it's kind of like Wordle in that you have to like, if I get the, like, let's say the snowflake was correct, it would be green behind it. If the gingerbread man was correct or correct item, wrong spot, it would be yellow, right? So if you've played Wordle before, you kind of get the idea, and then you work up. And then at the end, if I win, I will get a bunch of red Mythal tokens. I think there's like a few minute cooldown timer, so you can play as often as you want, depending on how many cookies you have, obviously. And then once again, with my red Mythal token rewards, I can come over to my rotating store here and select. Okay, let's go into Candy Chaos. This is actually one of my other favorite events. It's pretty fun. It's a little chaotic. But you come in here, let's start. And then gift boxes will spawn randomly, and they have candy cane seeds in them. So I'm going to collect a few here. And then there are some really rare spawns of like different colored candy canes. I have honestly rarely got one. So let's just plant these ones for now so you guys can see. So we come in here. Oh, wait, I got green ones. Wait, this is really exciting. Okay, and then you actually water these guys with chocolate sauce. Now you have to buy the chocolate sauce at the beginning. You only have to buy it once, and then you can fill it at these like chocolate fountains throughout the game. You need chocolate sauce, I think, in 2 different events. So let me grab one here. Now, a smart person would have done this before the timer started, but you know, it's okay. We're going. So I'm just collecting all of my seeds here, but I water with chocolate sauce. Each one takes 2. And then, yeah, basically harvest my candy canes, and they give you different points, which your score here. So I think you have 3 minutes to play. And yeah, the more you harvest, the more points you get. So you don't actually collect the candy cane, you just get points, and then the rarer ones give you more points. Okay, so at the end, if I win, there you go, I got some Mythal tokens. So that's the second mini game. And then once again, I go to my red Mythal token booth here and pick up some fun stuff. Are there any questions so far, Luke, that you've seen, or should I keep going?
Will the rewards in the rotating stores be unique per player, or will only one player be able to buy a boost per refresh?
So yeah, some of these will be limited by quantity. So they will not be unique per player. They will be, but yeah, some of them will be quantity limited, those really rare items. But you can also get them through the gift boxes, like a rare opportunity. So like, a gift box that has like 10 things in it, you might get one in there too. So there's like, it's not only get as many missile tokens as you want, because there is opportunity for like a random drop from one of those gift boxes if you want to play that way.
Nice. Somebody asked about the old Carnival tickets.
You will get to that.
Okay.
That one's, honestly, I actually can't share too much information because it's still being discussed in kind of the balance stuff, but we will have a place for the old Carnival tickets. Okay, I'm gonna just reiterate, as I've said probably every AMA for the past few months, the balance of those Carnival tickets is extremely difficult because there are some accounts that have thousands and thousands and thousands of them versus some players that only have, like, I think I have like 60, and so trying to balance something that works for every player of every amount is actually an impossible equation to solve.
Yeah, so strategy on Carnival tickets, if I can just like butt in really quickly, is basically there will be like some use case, but it's not going to be uncapped. So like you'll be able to use, from my understanding, like a set amount of Carnival tickets a day, but because some people like bought them really heavily, it wouldn't be fair if we basically made it so that if you had a ton of Carnival tickets, you like get the chance to earn a pet. So there'll be some use case for it. It's going to be a little bit limited in how you can use it, but
yeah, and they're not going to be anything crazy rewards. It's more just like an opportunity to use them. Okay, this is another game. So this is one of those puzzle games. So I think the puzzle image changes, but yeah, you scramble it up and then you can move it all around. So this one takes a while, I'm not gonna lie. I think you do get more rewards from this game just because it does take so long to play. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna finish playing it in in this demo, but you get the gist. Okay, no, that's the wrong way. See, something like that, and then that face should go there. Anyways,
yeah, this one's not on a time limit. It's about how many moves you do is what will give you more rewards. So yeah. I think I solved it in like 300 moves. I think our smartest dev solved it in like 150.
Yeah, I have never solved it because I don't have the patience. I'll do it when it's live, okay? But every time I'm like demoing it to someone for some reason, I'm like, yeah, I don't have 5 minutes right now. So anyways, that event will give you green missile tokens. So then you can come over to the green missile token booth and pick up some fun items. And yeah, so this is an ice rink, which is really fun. And we do have an energy party happening on Friday on the ice rink, but I just realized now that obviously this map won't be linked there. So we will link it from Terra Villa. And there will be, just like a fun energy party happening on Friday on the ice rink. Cool. Okay, so let's go into Squish a Fish. This one's pretty funny. I think the art is kind of comical. So let's start. And yeah, we squish the fish. And what's really fun in this iteration of this game is that the numbers for the values fly up above the fish, so you can actually see like how much each one gives you. I'm not used to playing this game without my pet. So it's kind of funny not having. Okay, where are the fish? Come on. It's actually kind of fun playing this as a cat because I feel like the lore is there though, but I do need the reach of my pet. Okay, so you guys know this similar style gameplay to Molluscall from the Halloween event, so you already know. So I'm not going to bother playing it all, but yes, so this one will also reward you in. Is this one white? No, this one's green. Green missile tokens? Yes, green missile tokens. Okay, so that was game 4. So we've got 2 more left. This one is Present Pusher. So this one's kind of fun. It's very nostalgic feeling. So come on over here. and you push the present, come on, into the hole. It's kind of hard, if I'm not gonna lie, because if you push the present into a corner by accident, you're screwed basically. So like that, now I can't get that one out. So, you know,
Yeah.
anyway, yes, I lost. Okay, cool. So that is that one, and it will reward you with white missile tokens. So you can come over to your white missile token store and pick up some fun rewards. So like the garland for the Christmas tree. Yeah, and then these guys are also little storage boxes down here. And once again, you can always grab one of these fun presents and for a chance to win some more missile tokens, or maybe like this is the Christmas star ornament or a pet. There's lots of fun stuff that we'll be throwing in the boxes and into the rotating stores and all of that. Okay, so this one is a little different from the rest of the event, and it's more of like a cozy home crafting station thing. There's a couple little mini quests in here too, which we'll dive into at another time. But yes, we do have our cow back here. I wish I had Moo Munch on me so you could watch it poop with me, but I do not. And then we also have a little turkey here, rewards you with feathers and turkey eggs. The feathers, I'll show you the use case for those. And then we do have a little station here. Okay. First of all, this skin is incredible of this spec, and I'm like pretty sure it'll be available in some opportunity to win it or buy it or something in the event, which is awesome. So stuff like that. There's going to be lots of fun things. Okay, this house also little workshop, Santa spec workshop. Okay, so you feed like here's an example. You feed your sheep chocolate sauce, and it grows. There you go. And the more you feed it, the more wool it grows, which is fun. And then let's do it all the way. Let's go all the way. I think it's 3 times. And then it tells you it's too hot. There you go. Trim me. I'm getting hot. So you can trim it to get wool, which you can use to craft. Okay, not here, but you use to craft some sweaters and whatnot, because Margaret or Santa has its own little task board here. So you can craft some, oh, there's another, I didn't even know this would be in here. So there's one opportunity to use your tickets. Yeah, so it's basically like a little crafting station with its own little specific task board for white missile tokens. So you can craft a sweater, you can wear the sweater, or you can deliver it here for more missile tokens. And then there's also these stands over here to make some drinks if the task board asks for some fun drinks. Come up here, and there's some more crafting stations. So you can craft that toy teddy, that infamous toy teddy. And see here, I need the turkey feather from outside. I needed the wool from my sheep. So yeah, there's lots of fun little stuff here. There's access to the marketplace right here for VIP only. And then this is another little... Have you seen this? Did you ever see it in the end?
No.
Okay. Well, okay. There is a video that I will share on Twitter.
No, we don't need to share that. It's fine.
So keep an eye out to my Twitter.
Okay.
And anyways, so this is where you will also have an opportunity to use some of your tickets, but your old tickets, but it will be gated like we suggested. And then you can always hop to the Winter Carnival right away through the painting. So that's almost it. Pretty much everything. There's a few other little tidbits in there that might get added, but stay tuned. It's really exciting. I'm so excited for this. I think it's the most beautiful map and so much fun. I love holiday themed events, as you guys all know. So I'm really excited to get this out. I think it should be out early next week, hopefully early.
Yeah. So 2 questions I'm seeing a lot. Just to reiterate, how do I get pets and how do I get land? Or not land, how do I get the boosts?
Okay, so once again, this is still being balanced and debated and whatnot, but I can guarantee you that there will be opportunities to get the boosts or the pet coupons through these presents. So if you want to buy a Pixels present, if I buy one here, let's do it. I put it on the ground, I think, or do I eat it? No, I put it on the ground. And I want a cookie credit. Okay. Once again, balance is changing, numbers are changing, so don't worry about it. But let me just get a whole bunch of them. Ice chunk, another cookie credit. Okay. Ooh, I got the star, right? So, oh, okay, wait, that's huge. I just got a massive reward. So there you go. There's one of the opportunities where you can have an opportunity to get one of those rewards. I believe that you will also have an opportunity to get some through this is staying around a long time. Oh, I just click on it. Wait, that's a new mechanic that you can click on it and it goes up. That's really cool. Thank you, devs. I believe some of them will also be in the store here, in the stores for a lot of missile tokens. It's kind of like our top players might have an opportunity to get their hands on some of this stuff, but all of those things are still being balanced out. So I can't guarantee anything quite yet.
Yeah.
But we wanted to show you this regardless because there's so much and it's so exciting.
Yeah. So also just to like remind you guys too, there should be different rewards in these boxes that you can purchase with the missile tokens too. So that's where some pets and other rewards will be distributed also. So you don't, there's basically like the pixel gacha for some of these rewards, but there's also the rewards just through playing the mini games, correct?
Sorry, what?
So there's two ways to get a pet, right? Like there's a pixel gacha and a coin gacha in the store, correct? But then there's also ways that you can spend the missile tokens that you earn playing the games to get these other boxes. And these other boxes will have some of those rewards in there also.
Yeah. There's lots of different ways to kind of like use your missile tokens and participate in the event, whether it be a lot or a little. Yeah, it'll be really fun.
Yeah. Okay. So these missile tokens are not tradable also, correct?
I don't think so. I don't think they are. Some of the things will be tradable though. I know some people were asking.
Yeah, like the prizes might be, but the actual like in-game currencies will not be. So, you'll have to play the mini games to get the best chance at getting all of these prizes basically. So remember, there's going to be about 400 pets. That's not the final number, but there's going to be about 400 pets. We'll have all the final numbers in the announcement of the event, so beforehand. Also, if you want to take a look again, we've changed how, don't look at these values for sure, but we changed how like some of the gacha mechanics, if we have one, are displayed as well too. So if you were to go and buy a white gift box, for example, with your missile tokens that you earn inside of the game, you'll get to see exactly what prizes are offered in this white missile token box. Like you might have a chance to get missile tokens, you might have a chance to get VIP coupons in this one. If you look at the other ones, there's pet coupons in some of them also. So yeah, there's different ways to get it basically.
Okay, so how long will the event be active? I think probably 3 or 4 weeks. It's gonna be open for a while, so you have a bunch of time to play and participate and have fun. Someone was asking, what are game tickets? They're from our previous carnival that we did a year and a few months ago. So if you don't know what they are, don't even worry about it. Will boosts be tradable? This is a really good question. So long term, yes. Hopefully at launch also yes, but we were just talking to our development team and there was a little bit of a technical issue in there. But long-term, yes, they will be. If you get your hands on one initially and they're not tradable, just know that they will be. They will be eventually, okay? I hope they will be at launch also, but like I said, there might be a little tech thing in there that needs to get ironed out.
So somebody asked, is there a limit on the mini games? So how it works basically is you'll be able to purchase, if you look at my inventory, these cookie credits, right? And there's only so many that you'll be able to get per day. So this is not supposed to be a 24/7 grind fest. We kind of cap the amount of play that you can get. If you want to play a little bit more, there'll be an option to purchase some more for Pixel if you want. But basically we cap the amount that you can get per day.
Yeah, exactly. And so so if you look at, if you click on the booth loop, so there's
I already purchased. So if you were to look at this one earlier, I purchased 2 types. Is yours clear right now, or?
I think I purchased 1 type.
So this is a new type of store that we introduced, basically, like part of the rotating store concept.
This is
Oh,
my
perfect.
screen, right? Because I only bought one type, so I still have the other ones available versus this is Luke's screen here. He bought two, right? There might also be some free plays scattered around in random places. That's all I was told about 20 minutes before the AMA. So I don't have details on that, but there might be some free plays in there. Also, is there a cooldown after each game there's played? I think it's like 2 minutes. Like it's not super long. It's not a big deal, but yeah, there's a little bit of a cooldown. Okay. No Santa hat costume for regular avatar. No, but there will be opportunities to get costumes. Okay, actually, you know what, guys? I need to tell you. Our artist showed me, I don't know if you've seen this yet, even Luke. Our artist showed us the ginger woman and ginger man. There's two different ones costume that she made yesterday, and I lost it. They're the cutest costume. My favorite costume thus far has been the ghost costume. I think this trumps it. I think the gingerbread, actually little ginger woman, she's got a little dress on, is the cutest avatar costume we've made to date. So there are a bunch of different costumes that will come out, just like rewards through all of these different mechanics that we've showed you.
Yeah. And then, yeah, somebody asked again how many pet coupons there will be available. So there's gonna be more than the previous events. We're thinking about 400 pet coupons available for this event, right? We've always talked about, we want like pets to be kind of accessible, and this is a way to go out and get one. We're so proud of the pet collection being over 82% unique owners, right? That means we've done a pretty good job of making sure that they're available through play to earn mechanics rather than being able to just like get minted like crazy by one whale. It's really fun to own a pet inside of the game. It's like one of the coolest features. We're even building a whole game around pets inside of Pixels, right? So we want more people to have them. We want to make sure that the right people get them, right?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy how many unique owners there are. Amazing. So when will this event go live? We're aiming for early next week. And then it'll be open for, I think, like into January. It'll be open into January. So we'll have lots of time to have fun and play. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Well, there's a few other questions that we had that are like related to other stuff we've been working on. So let's talk about that stuff too. Here's a comment. We're tired of your empty promises to unrug land. It's been months and nothing has been done to improve the situation. Only yapping, no actions. The fact that you call it rug yourself says everything. So yeah, here, I want to make it clear how we view land, because people think that we have like different thoughts on it than what we actually do. I would say that land is the best indicator of how healthy the Pixels economy is, right? So if land sentiment isn't very good, that probably means there's core economic issues with Pixels. And that's where a lot of the root cause of these issues are. So when we talk about fixing the issues with land, a lot of it means we have to fix the actual issues with Pixels economy. And that's why it's been taking a little bit longer, right? There's some simple things we want to do that, you know, would be nice to get in, but basically like we kind of came to a freeze, and we're trying to figure out like how we actually fix all this stuff while getting all this out. What I'll say is we have a couple of things coming finally. So we're going to try to get as much of this as possible out by end of year. The first being we are introducing like a big item and XP rebalance. We've talked about it a few times. The team's aware of like how important it is to get this out. Again, it was like a really complex, it was a really complex update. That's basically why it's been taking so long. Fixing land was not so easy. And all these updates we've been talking about when it comes to chapter 2.5 are related to this. We talk about these other events too, because it's other fun stuff that we're talking about. But like most of our core design effort and our team effort has been focused around chapter 2.5. So what this means is like we're trying to get this game balance update out around item and XP rebalance and then industry limits too. Those are the two big things that we think will help fix some of the economics. Basically, the issue with land right now is there's not a lot of scarcity inside of the game, mostly because it's really, really easy to farm the tier 3 and the tier 4 resources, even easier than tier 1 and tier 2 in some cases. So what we're shipping is basically these updates around the item and XP rebalance and then industry limits too. Those will be like the first pieces to kind of target that. Again, ideal rollout for us is before end of year. we're trying to like ship like crazy before end of year. And that's the rollout here. So when we talk about land, I think somebody like made a comment to me the other day being like, you guys want land to be more accessible, so you don't care about it at all. No, what I'll say is like land is the best reflection of Pixel's economy, and we care about Pixel's economy a lot. So yeah, we focused a ton of effort on this. It was just more complex than we thought initially. And I don't want to just talk about this and yap about it anymore. Like, I know you're only going to trust us when we actually get these releases out. The team understands how important it is what I'll say. And we're trying to get them out as soon as we can.
And I'm gonna further address this. And I just wanted to, we have a lot of new players that come into our ecosystem a lot and see what we're doing. And it's really awesome. So I just wanted to like briefly address like how we operate. And that is that we build in public. And that means that Luke and I will come on here every week and tell you exciting ideas that we're discussing. But it doesn't change the amount of time that a lot of things do take to be developed. So yeah, merchant ships, for instance, Luke was talking about merchant ships months ago. It was in development months ago, and it's still in development because things take months. But because we build in public, we want to come on here and share these exciting ideas we have with you guys. And also that's where we get your feedback. So things will change depending on like how you guys react to what we're sharing with you so that we can build together and build something really cool and awesome together. But it still takes time, unfortunately. So with all of these things, they're all in development, all in the works, all coming. And we're excited.
Yeah, I will say on top of that too is like, this is the biggest like headache in company building I've been trying to figure out for the last 6 months. Basically, it's like, how do we move faster and get back to the speed that we were at before? Because if you were a part of the Pixels before, the output was insane for a while, right? There's like a bit of a balance because we have a lot more players than we did before, right? So making changes to 1,000 players or like 10,000 players is a lot. It's a lot easier than 100,000 or like 500,000, right? So that added some complexity here that just has made us move slower, but that also doesn't need to be the case too. So we have some really awesome people on the team now. Like, I don't know if we've hired like a bunch of people from RuneScape too, which is like, to me, that's like amazing. I grew up playing RuneScape. We brought on like a bunch of ex-RuneScape onto the team recently. Like, the level of talent here is really good. Now, what's interesting is when you bring on Web2 talent into a game company, you got to kind of like make them unlearn some of the Web2 habits. Like, a lot of these people are used to building games for like a 4-year life cycle. And that's not how we do it in Web3, right? We want to get things out way quicker. So yeah, a lot of what we're trying to do is basically like bring in the Web2 experts and then teach them like how to build quickly in Web3. And what that means is basically, we don't want to do the hyper optimization that a lot of Web3 games do. We want to kind of go a little bit more by gut, but also be like pretty strong and solid on the data science side too. So it's a balance. But yeah, the team is kind of all on the same page that we need to increase speed because that's our biggest competitive advantage. And yeah, we can't be any talk anymore, right? Like, we got to show you with action soon. What I will say is when we're done with the chapter 2.5 updates, things should hopefully move a bit quicker. If you've ever built something for some reason, it's always harder to go out and fix something. Like, it's harder to do a renovation on a house than it is to build a new addition for whatever reason. Because you have to like tear down stuff. You have to understand what the previous plan was. You have to like, make sure that you're going by previous inspections, all that. It's the same thing with building games and software. When we're finally out of chapter 2.5 and then chapter 3, I'm excited because, we'll start to build out net new features. It should pick up the pace a little bit.
Totally. Okay. All right. We're wrapped up. And okay, I just wanted to say once again, you're still best casual game player's choice. Guys, these awards that we got are yours. So thank you all for being a part of this and voting for Pixels. It really means the world to us, and it means the world to everyone else in the community. So shout out to all of you guys for voting for us. We had a fun party last week for it. And that being said, we have an energy party on Friday with Pixel Chibis. So it'll be pretty fun. And then, we've got big stuff coming very, very soon. Big stuff coming very soon. And then we've got the holiday event, which is also just enormous, massive, incredible. And then Guild Wars has been really fun. Guys, there's so much going on. And shout out to our team. We've shipped a lot recently, and it's really fun, and I'm really excited. And then I think we can finish it with this. Are you ready?
No, I'm not doing that. Yeah. So, okay, to wrap things up, we might do a surprise AMA, not so surprise on Monday. That's hopefully, it's hopefully the goal here. So keep your eyes open if we are able to say that we have. Yeah, keep your eyes open for that. And then, yeah, just like a few last housekeeping things too. Pet care, we're still talking about that. I really want to get that out ASAP. Also, we'll see what we can do about this. If we can get pet care out before end of year, it would also make me very happy. But yeah, it's still getting worked on and talked about. And yeah, keep your eyes open because this isn't even. We talked about a really big announcement last week. We still haven't even announced it. That was not the holiday event. That was the big announcement that we're dying to get out. So. Yeah, hopefully we'll wrap up the end of the year with the biggest announcement we've had all year. So we're excited about it. And stay tuned on that one.
Amazing. All right. Thank you guys for an awesome AMA. The energy I would say the past month of AMAs, you guys have just been awesome. The questions, the comments, the energy has been amazing. So thank you all for coming out, being a little festive with us. And when Kiko's cake, okay, so it was pancakes. And it's coming. It's still in the works. It will come. Anyways, all right. We will see you guys maybe Monday, maybe Wednesday. We'll let you know. Pay attention. I'll post about it. Awesome. Okay. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.